We are just hours away from Governor Jay Inslee's new coronavirus restrictions taking effect. We're breaking down everything you need to know about the changes.
There's just nothing we can do about it. And overall, we're probably 75 employees we had to lay off.
And with these new restrictions, local businesses are having to shut down for the second time this year. And that means outright closing down. We'll hear from them and the plans moving forward.
As I've mentioned multiple times, we've only had one. It's extremely, extremely rare. Even in a county with high case counts, we've only had one.
Plus, Governor Inslee did not put any restrictions on schools reopening. Spokane Public Schools planning to return second graders back to the classroom soon. KREM 2 News starts right now. Breaking news at this hour, an Amber Alert has been issued for an 11-year-old Adriana Correa of Anaconda, Montana. She was last seen this morning getting into a red 1995 Toyota Camry with Washington license plates BUU 3550. She's 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighs about 130 pounds. She was last seen wearing a University of Montana Grizzlies sweatshirt and maroon sweatpants with purple boots, a red coat, a red backpack, and she was carrying shoes. Anyone with any information about her whereabouts is urged to call the Deer Lodge County Police at that number on your screen or simply dial 911. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Regina On. Well, effective in just 1 hour, the new coronavirus regulations go into place in Washington. Right now, most of the new rules will stay into effect until December 14th.
So let's break down the new coronavirus restrictions that go into place again tonight. Indoor social gatherings not allowed with people from outside your household. Outdoor social gatherings cannot be held with more than 5 people from outside your household. Gyms and other fitness facilities will no longer allow indoor workouts. The same restrictions on outdoor gatherings apply to outdoor fitness classes. Religious services will be limited to 25% of their indoor capacity. However, no more than 200 people are allowed. Choirs, bands, and ensembles will not be allowed to perform during services.
And indoor retail will be limited to 25% of a store's capacity. Retail stores must close. Any common seating areas and indoor seating at food courts will be closed. Wedding and funeral receptions are not allowed. Ceremonies are capped at 30 people. Movie theaters are closed along with indoor museums, zoos, and aquariums, though drive-in movie theaters will still be allowed. As the new regulations go into place, several businesses have already announced their plans to shut down because of economic woes. The latest venue caught up in COVID closures is the bowling alley players and spectators. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones has that story tonight.
The reality of COVID protocols impact more than health. It's been a struggle for businesses across the globe dealing with closures, and the latest restrictions in Washington have already been felt.
So this year has been a whirlwind, to say the least. Stress levels through the roof for everybody. We got to lay off all our employees again.
Players and spectators in Spokane Valley are permanently closing their doors. It's both a bowling alley and casino. Last year was their most successful one financially, but as soon as the pandemic struck, they knew their business was going to be affected.
We figured this place was going to be booming this year, and then we got hit with this.
If things go back to normal, they have the capacity to reopen, but as of now, that's a long shot because of low profits. Even if they could return next month, restrictions would limit how many people can use the venue, and the first closure made it clear how difficult that was, with 50% of their clientele being lost. Money is going to be a problem if they want to continue operating.
Bowling is a social sport. People do this to come and hang out with their friends for a couple hours.
Nearly 75 people are losing their job because of the recent shutdown. What concerns employees even more is the climate of bowling in Spokane. Several alleys have closed over recent years, and the ones that have lasted are struggling.
I sit and talk with the wife all the time. I go, it sucks, and it's a horrible situation, but hey, God's got a plan. We're going to find out what it is. So.
From the Valley, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
We had a pretty unfortunate store meeting today that basically said that a certain group of people are going to be working here, a certain group of people are not going to be able to work for the foreseeable future.
And unfortunately, that is the sad reality of a lot of businesses that are facing right now with these new restrictions. Under the new guidelines, restaurants have until Wednesday at 12:01 to sell off any excess food inventory as indoor dining becomes temporarily suspended. Tonight, Zola's made a final attempt at supporting their employees. All proceeds made from yesterday and today will go straight to their staff.
You know, it's going to be okay. We got a great community around here. We all got our big old family. Tonight we're pulling all of our tabs together, splitting it amongst the rest of us. So it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through just like the rest of us.
And Zola's will be closed after tonight for 2 weeks, but despite the uncertain future, they remain in good spirits, as you just saw there. If you would like a list of local restaurants that you can support, just text the word takeout to 509-448-2000, and we'll send that list right to you.
Meantime, businesses in the hospitality industry, including restaurants, theaters, and hotels, have an extra 2 days to apply for the Spokane Hospitality Relief Grant.
Now, that date to apply has been extended to November 18th at 5 p.m. Businesses can receive up to $20,000 in aid, and to qualify, you must have 249 or less employees and must have been established before March 1st. To apply, just head to that website on your screen there.
The new restrictions take effect as Spokane County sees a dramatic surge in cases. Spokane Regional Health now reporting 942 new COVID cases from over the weekend. 425 were reported on Saturday, 300 reported yesterday, and 217 new cases reported today. No new deaths have been reported. There are currently 106 COVID patients in our local hospitals.
At this time, we are not asking districts currently offering in-person instruction to close, unless the local health officer advises them to change course.
Well, as the governor rolls out new restrictions statewide, school districts are not being asked to return exclusively to remote learning.
Just today, Spokane Public Schools Superintendent Adam Swinyard said that second graders will start in-person classes on November 30th. District officials say the data shows the risk of transmission inside schools remains low. In fact, since phasing back in kindergartners, they've only had one incident.
That is reflective of our intent to go very slowly, go very cautiously, watch the data, and do everything we can to ensure that COVID is not transmitted in our schools and make decisions accordingly. In simple terms, COVID is not spreading inside of our schools.
Now, starting on November 30th, students will go into an 8-day A-B rotation. Then all schools will begin attending in person on December 10th. Now, of course, breakfast and lunch will be served in the classroom. That goes until June of 2021. School will end at 2:30 now instead of 3. That's just because they want adequate time to clean. Face masks are required and disposable masks will be available for those who don't bring a mask. If a student shows COVID-like symptoms, they will be asked to stay home for 10 days or present a negative COVID test. All right, turning now to weather. It was definitely a soggy day all over the inland northwest. It felt like it kind of lasted for a long time, and it just stopped a couple hours ago, I think.
Pretty gloomy out there today, right? Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us now. Thomas, for mid-November, you're actually tracking almost warm temperatures.
Yeah, it certainly will feel even warmer than it was today come tomorrow. And yeah, that rain just seemed like it was gloomy all day long. And really the shorter days and all that cloud cover and rainfall just made things, well, just that, gloomy today. Still cloudy out there, but not raining. 38 degrees, even not all that cold for November standards. In fact, our average high temperature is usually about 40 degrees. So we'll be about 15 degrees above that for tomorrow. Actually, a fine day to be outdoors, at least for a little bit. Even without the sunshine and even with the breezy conditions, 50s will feel great. But I am tracking some rain chances after about 4 or 5 o'clock into the evening hours. And that's because the weather system that brought us the rain today, that was a warm front, and we'll be in the warm sector of this weather system, but we have more rain chances with the corresponding cold front later on, not only in the day tomorrow, but for the days to come. So still a bit of an active weather pattern. So coming up, I'm going to be detailing just when our next few rain chances will be moving through the Spokane area overall. So look for that in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Thomas. We'll still head here on KREM News at 11 tonight. The Post Falls City Council voting on mask mandate on city property. Everything you need to know.
And we really are counting on everybody to kind of do their part.
The pandemic has changed a lot of things that once seemed normal. Tonight, we talk with 2 of our local ski resorts to find out what people can expect when they hit the slopes in the coming weeks.